It's Skip Littman and Ron Newcomb,
Hey, hey.
Jerry Mosmack. We're at the Forge Studios.
Yes, we are, friend.
All right, so we have a little conundrum,
We got a dilemma.
right? We're talking about what kind of weapons to use in our new production,
Yeah. Sure.
Outlawed Faith.
And it's going to be awesome. Epic and awesome.
It's
All
going
right.
to be steampunk and western
Well, that's part of the
Sci-fi.
great.
and sci-fi, all rolled up into one epic short production.
Now, isn't that cool? You got steampunk, sci-fi, and western. Now, see, I had a different vision of the way it was going to be, which is kind of our dilemma.
Right.
Which is always our dilemma.
All right,
Yeah,
so
three
so
opinions.
here's the basic thing. Ron, here's Morris too.
He's got an opinion.
Ron says
No.
that they should be laser weapons.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're doing a steampunk,
Come here.
western,
Come here, Mo.
um,
Come on.
steampunk, western, and I'm always forgetting the third.
Sci-fi,
Sci-fi.
steampunk, western.
Sci-fi.
Hey.
Yes. So my point is that you're doing those three genres matched together, and what I was thinking originally, when you come into the story, you would first think, wow, this is a cool western. And then we would fool you a little bit of the way through, and you would suddenly go, oh wow, this is way more than that. This is steampunk. No, we're even further than that. We're steampunk plus sci-fi on top of it. But at first I was thinking everybody would be like, oh man, it's a cool western,
Right.
right?
So laser weapon.
Too much, okay? We are in a gear, mechanics, sprocket, bolts,
Gas,
metal,
yeah.
gas, steam-powered,
Steam.
coal, fossil fuel world environment.
We also talked a little bit about bringing in some of the diesel punk feel too as well.
Diesel punk,
Wow, really?
absolutely.
What's that? What's diesel punk? The big swole?
It's like
gotta bring
it's like that next technology level up. So it's
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
like a mix.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of the science fiction.
So let me make my argument for combustibles, which I think I just did, given everything that I just mentioned. Combustible bullets flying around, bouncing
Okay.
off of metal pieces, armor,
Right.
bang, bang, boom, reloading.
Which in a film could be really
clink, clink,
cool.
clink. Yeah, absolutely.
You see the rounds.
Rounds, flame, you get the reaction from whatever the destructible environment as things are smashing into it or smashing into people. I'm saying bullets, projectiles, combustible, gunpowder, whatever substance they're using in this world to create the combustion within the shell to project a slug out of their weapons. That's my vote. Vote for me. You know it's right. You know it is.
So that's kind of what we're doing with this. We're creating a video,
Right.
each putting our arguments together. Then we're going to ask you guys to vote in the comments which way we should go, and based upon your feedback is what we're going to do.
The Forge Studios is all about fan engagement because we're creating this entertainment
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it's a we. It's not an us and you guys, it's a we. So people were like, you guys are going to do a sci-fi steampunk western? That sounds awesome. We want to be a part of it. So a lot of you guys have already contacted us. Well, now we got this whole debate because we were massaging the story about, okay, what are the weapons and what does it look like and all these things. So
My
very curious
take
about
on
which
it
weak,
is
quite
we
frankly.
could do whatever we want. And I think we should
Of
have
course.
a mix of
Yeah.
projectile
Could
combustion
do
weapons and laser energy type weapons.
Yeah.
And
See,
you were
laser
saying-
and energy is not the same. As
No, but and that's another thing that we brought into it is how many different kinds of science fiction weapons
Yeah.
can we bring in?
There's a lot you could do.
Yeah, I mean you have like we were talking about energy weapons that would.
I can
produce some kind of
concede a low level or low degree of energy type laser weapons. Very hard to manufacture, very hard to
make.
come by,
So
hard
maybe
to
a
make.
sniper out.
But
in
you
the
have
buildings
it in
might
there.
have.
It's cool. It adds that
Yeah.
dimension.
So maybe that's off-world
blast.
technology.
I like the off-world.
Aliens could bring that into the mix.
All right.
But an energy weapon could be created in a laboratory on world.
Sure.
That maybe isn't necessarily a laser, but it's
steampunk
you know
archetype.
that Ghostbusters type
Yeah. That's neat.
lightning bolt
But
gun.
let me tell you my reasonings.
Oh, the trump card.
I have a few that I would like to convey to you guys
Uh-oh.
so that you would vote my way.
Ron's got notes. We're
First of all, I would like
Came
it to
prepared.
be a Western more feel, and then we surprise the audience with, wow, it's steampunk once you go into the tavern. And then once they stand up, you see the weaponry, wow, it's freaking lasers, it's sci-fi. And I want that experience of the wow factor, not just set from get-go. So I think it's kind of a cool little factor of bringing the audience along to even up, oh my gosh, that's even
All right,
cool.
I'm going to use his argument against him. It's even more of a wow factor if you have bang, 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 but then all of a sudden a laser beam rips from a sniper rifle across the
Through the room.
street, you know, and
No,
goes through the room.
Granted, that would be cool. Come
Yeah.
on. Who doesn't want to see a laser gun take somebody out snipers?
All right.
Right? Then I also have, though, what world is it? We've never said it's Earth. Right?
Right.
So it could be that lasers were invented some time ago, and I think once they were invented, it would easily destroy any combustible weapon, and therefore they would no longer be needed. And so the mythos would be that once they were created, they became the main manufacturing items, and the other items went obsolete.
See,
Who
but-
walks around with a sword? Who walks around with a sword? I'm not saying who doesn't want to. Okay, let's be real. Every
Well, I
guy.
hope in our world there are some swords.
Oh, of course. Who doesn't want a sword?
And, right, and some
I
bladed
want capes to
weapons.
come back.
and
Okay, I think
things,
capes should come
as-
back.
as well.
But you know my point.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
we're getting on
You see my
side.
point. You see
Yeah.
my
A
no.
little-
Capes are
a little
cool.
bit.
Capes are cool. It may end up in this. My other point is,
More
Is that-
playing.
I want to see a new matchup. Like, I think there's been Western done, and people skew to steampunk being around the 1890s to about 1920.
Victorian.
Victorian,
But
right?
But there are also no rules with steampunk.
And
That is
I like
part of the
that.
ethos.
And that's why I haven't seen laser weapons with a steampunk mashup. I've seen Western sci-fi with lasers, but not a Western steampunk sci-fi. And I don't think it's been done, and I think we could be the first ones to do it. So that's another point, is that I haven't seen it done, and I think that's really cool. And the lastly, which is, I agree, is a weak argument. Okay, I'm conceding it's weak, but it is a point, is that we want to turn these around. We're all about creating short films to be able to do them in a 2-day period and to turn them around quickly. So post-production can't take forever. So CGI. And once we add the element of combustible, you have weapons that need to move, right? The hammer needs to rack back. You might need to change magazines. With lasers, it's very easy. Once I start firing, I can just keep firing. And it's no big deal. And I don't have to worry about that. So it keeps the CGI really low. And so keeping the budget low and keeping our post-production time low. And on those 4 points, I think that you should vote for me and say, I would really love to see a steampunk Western sci-fi with lasers everywhere. Guys coming up over the top.
All right.
I mean, it's going to be...
I believe you have made your
Yeah,
point.
you made your point, and
And I wonder whether the camera's even on.
I didn't
To
do
that-
Western.
to
You
that-
always kind of wonder that.
To
You
to
wonder
that, we
wonder
can
that.
always shoot it again. To that final point, though, I have a counterpoint, and then would also like to make a final point.
Absolutely.
check.
That
Absolutely.
that
Especially with Roy.
right, Roy. That final point, okay?
Yeah.
We can do CGI, gunfire,
Yeah.
blast, shells. I believe
It's good?
And it is recorded.
as easy. Thank you for talking over my counterpoint.
My fault.
Yeah. So as easy, if not easier, than lasers. Because I think every time you have a laser go
Yeah.
out, you have to have that sort of.
Yeah.
There's an energy beam that you have to work in
Yeah.
through different people,
Okay,
things, props, pieces.
By frames, yeah, you gotta
and
make
if it
them-
makes
okay.
contact with something, it's got to make contact with that something. A bullet, I can zip by it or even just
You don't need to
pop
see it
through or
necessarily. You can
smoke.
see it.
Right.
Kind of.
Right.
Mhm.
Also, let's face it. I mean, lasers, they've been done. They're cool. They're all right. But ammo,
Not with steampunk.
bullets with steampunk, especially is why we need to hold true. Not that we can't make up some of the rules as we go or write our own story, which we will be doing, absolutely. But But again, in this world
Yeah.
where things are mechanical,
What do your weapons fire? How do your weapons
chemistry,
fire?
gases.
Gas with gas. How do your weapons fire? With gas?
So it could be just a combustible shell. It could be a substance similar to gunpowder in our world. Again, it's our world. We can create
That is true. We can't do what we want.
whatever we want.
All right, so there it is.
So bullets.
You got the three.
people,
So you
bullets.
have the combustible, you have the lasers, and you have the joint.
I want it all.
He wants it. He wants both.
Yeah.
So look, down below in the comments, you guys got a question. Tell us which way we should go, and the majority will rule the day, and we'll go which way you guys.
We're really
want us
gonna do that. We're gonna let them decide.
We're gonna let them decide. 100%. Whichever way you guys vote is the way we'll do it.
The Forge Studios.
That's it. We've spoken. Rick Morris.